Today is July 5th. Today's quote is entitled, "Is Change Best?" Prabhupada said, "We Americans always want to change things." He meant that when we change things outside ourselves, we think we are progressing. But the real progress is to change ourselves. Internal change means growth. I don't know if you've heard the saying that we want to change everybody except ourselves. And also, based on that, we get upset with people when they're doing something they shouldn't be doing and they're not improving, they're not changing. While, at the same time, we may be exactly like them and not changing ourselves. So we tend to not want to change ourselves as much as we want to change others. And there's another statement I heard that's very true. It says, don't overestimate the power you have to change another person, and don't underestimate the power you have to change yourself. Don't overestimate the power you have to change another person. You know, we think we have a lot of power to change another person, and we often think we don't have much power to change ourselves. It's not true. So Prabhupada used to criticize us and say we always want to change things, we always want to do something new, which is not better. But what we see in general, at least in material consciousness, is we want to change things outside. Because if we think if we change things outside, things inside will get better. In many cases, it's not true. Now, if you make a more Krishna conscious environment, it will affect you internally. But the point is, we shouldn't think that just external environment is everything, or that's all we need. Last night we were talking about how devotees, when they go to the Dham and they come back to the West, sometimes their situation is even worse. Because in the Dham it's so easy to be Krishna conscious, and then when they come back to the West, they expect it's going to be as easy, and it's not. It takes work. So the West is not as ideal externally, so it takes more internal work. And so the internal environment is really what we want to deal with, and that's what we need to change. But we're always trying to change things outside ourselves. That's our Western mentality, make something better. And it's easier to change things outside ourselves and change circumstances and fix this and improve that. It's much easier than doing it on ourselves. So, Krishna consciousness means doing the work on ourselves, which is not always easy to face, and sometimes we resist it. And as I've said in the past, if you resist changing, that is a indication that what you resist is the very thing that right now needs the most attention. If anyone ever tells you, you do this, you should improve in this way, and you just don't want to hear it, there's a strong resistance within you. You know why that is? It's because that's really important to change, and you really don't want to deal with it because it's such a difficult thing. But that's a sign that you need to deal with it. And so don't think that simply changing things externally is really going to make a huge difference. It may make a difference, but the real difference has to be the internal change. And then when you change internally, you can adapt to environments that aren't so Krishna conscious. Hare Krishna. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.